the United Kingdom and the United States have had a decent relationship over the decades. Successive prime ministers have done their best to cultivate what they would term the special relationship. But over the years, we have certainly helped each other. Regardless of the outcome, we've joined forces with America on countless occasions and pitched in and been a trusted partner. But all that is eroding away now. Recently, Keir Starmer went into a G7 meeting, came out and said, "Nothing to see here, it's all going to be good." And then a little while later, America bombed Iran, and our PM and the whole of his cabinet, and indeed the whole of what it would appear like the intelligence community in Britain, had no idea what was going on. So as a country, we didn't know that America was undertaking war with Iran. And the reason for that? I believe it's because they don't trust us anymore.
There's been a huge amount of discussions in the days since the G7 ended, and the US has now taken the action to alleviate the threat that Iran's nuclear program poses. My position throughout has been as a calling for de-escalation, to get people around the table to negotiate a better outcome diplomatically. And I've been talking to international leaders in recent days, but particularly intensely this morning. We'll continue to do so during the course of today.
The problem with never falling on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence is that nobody trusts you. At some point, you've got to put your cards on the table. At some point, you've got to go, right, yeah, this is what I'm for, this is what I'm against. And Keir Starmer has spent so long tiptoeing along the fence, particularly in domestic politics in the UK, that he thinks he can do it on the world stage, but unfortunately, the world stage is a little bit more unpredictable. And they've really laid open and laid bare the real truth. And the real truth is that America did not trust the United Kingdom with the information that they were going to bomb a foreign adversary. And I think that's a terrible state of affairs. And just to highlight this point, here's David Lammy with a direct question. What do you think there, David? Do you think it's right?
Surprised, though, that the British government doesn't have a view on whether this enormously important military action was or was not legal.
We weren't involved, is the truth.
But I mean, there are all sorts. Hang on a second. There are also. We were not involved in Russia attacking Ukraine, but we have a very firm view of whether it was legal or not. What is our view of the legality?
Justin, there isn't moral equivalence here.
No, I'm not suggesting there is, but we do make judgments about whether actions are legal or not.
If I may, can I finish the point? Vladimir Putin invaded a sovereign nation. It was crystal clear. It is for the Americans, and you can get the ambassador online and you can discuss with him Article 2 and Article 51 of the UN Charter, and you can get into that issue. But what I can tell you is that the UK was not involved in this military action.
And the reason why we weren't involved in a military action was, point one, America didn't trust us enough to tell us that there was a military action going on. And point two, it's because you didn't want to be part of it. Most of the people who live in the United Kingdom, most of the sensible people who believe in democracy, freedom, liberty and all of those types of things, are on the side of bombing Iran's nuclear options to smithereens for a generation. Otherwise, they're going to do serious damage to the world. It's quite straightforward. And every country should be on board with that. But we're not on board with that. David Lammy is pro-Iran.
I think it was pretty clear a week ago that Donald Trump was rather taken aback to find out about the Israeli strikes. And he may have been expressing regret. Wasn't it kind of appropriate for you to regret the fact that we've ended up in military conflict with your Iranian counterpart?
Well, I think that the Foreign Office has issued a statement following my call with the Iranians, and I think their take on the conversation doesn't accord at all with what I said. The truth is, the call with them yesterday was about urging them to not escalate to hit US bases.
And even worse than being lectured by David Lammy in that sanctimonious tone of faux virtue. And it's annoying. But I'll move on from that because that might just be me. I'm guessing it's not, but it may be. I think in that clip, in the clips that we've watched there, I think we can draw our own conclusions. And one of those conclusions is that America doesn't trust the United Kingdom. The second conclusion we can draw from that is that our current government not only are draining us militarily, weakening the United Kingdom in the world, a la Chagos, but also appears to be on the side of terrorist states. It's quite incredible when you think of it like that, and is it any wonder that America don't trust us anymore? Anyway, thanks very much for your time.